We're almost dead, everyone. It's Deep Dive Zone, the Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes, here on our 4th episode of Shadow the Hedgehog, where we are indeed going to be doing the true dark route. I'm your host, Devin, joined by Lauren, Bruce, Matt, and Sid. I forgot to say that at the start. We're gonna kill people.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. No, well, hold on. We don't kill
I don't
anybody.
know that
Remember,
that happens, yeah.
Well, okay,
This
remember,
season.
Shadow doesn't actually kill anyone.
We're going to
Unless
express
they're an
our
alien.
intentions to kill people.
There you go.
True.
Well,
Oh my.
it's funny because, with these two playthroughs, the last two, we kind of covered everything in the preceding stages, so we are skipping over Westopolis here. We already did that mission. We already talked about it.
Well,
Thank
you
God.
could actually skip it in gameplay.
I would
wish.
like to be able
Yeah.
to skip it in gameplay, yeah.
You want it to be accurate. The podcast should be accurate to the game, meaning we have to do Westopolis every time.
What did
No,
anything
right.
interesting happen on your human eliminations mission?
I did it in one go through of the stage for the only time.
Oh,
So-
golf clap.
Yeah, that was about it for me.
Yeah. What do we even do after that? Digital circuit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's almost a
Edgytron.
near identical stage for evil. You know what I mean? It's just a
Yeah.
right exit, basically.
Same complaints as usual. The first stage to have a proper difference in how you're tackling it is Cryptic Castle, where instead of just going to the end, we have to light the 5 big torches with the blue fire, and oh god, I hate this mission.
I sure wish I was running to the end.
Yeah.
I was surprised by struggling on this one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be hard. And then I think I got to the end and realized, shit, I still had one torch, and Devin had to actually guide me on how to find it.
Yeah, I did the same thing where I got right to the end and it's like, oh, I missed exactly one, and then I accidentally ran through the goal ring and had to.
Ooh, that happened to me on a different playthrough.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you why, because the first 4 are extremely obvious. They activate
True.
things when you light them, and it leads you through a very clear linear path of the stage up until you get to the so-called final one, which is,
Right.
is in this. You find Eggman's secret Chow Garden, which is an interesting touch to have in this stage. I don't know if we talked about that last time.
I think we
Uh,
did.
We did.
We might have. If we
Yeah,
haven't,
we
it's
did.
neat.
Yeah, but so you get to the secret Chow path, and if you light the torch there, it will open a door off to the left, I think, that leads to
Yeah.
the final torch, but it doesn't... You don't know that just by doing it. You have to actually... Because it's all the way on the left side of the room. You're not going to even be looking at it when you light the torch, in all likelihood.
Mhm.
You get tunnel vision and you're so
Yep.
focused on just keep going.
It
Maybe.
does not make it obvious, no.
Yeah, I
No.
think that's the big thing.
I think if, I don't know, man, it's why can't Eggman be like, whoa, I didn't know there was a door leading that way. We should
That
check
would
it
be-
out, Shadow.
That would be handy.
He says that about the normal exit to the level, yeah.
Mhm. It's frustrating. But if you discount that, though, really, it's there's not much else to the level, though.
It does have another flying section, so it almost feels like an alternate exit to the stage. And it's weird because this kind of design would be way more beneficial to the game as a whole than the scavenger hunt bullshit, because you're actually exploring the stages.
Right.
It's just that they did such a bad job on it.
They really
Yeah.
did.
Part of the problem with it, though, is it's not a problem for the player, right? The problem is for the designer, right? Is that it's basically double the work. You have to put 2 levels in one.
True.
And a lot of developers get afraid that the player won't see all of their content, and so that
Exactly.
determines how
Yeah,
they make.
they want to make
wanna
sure you see everything.
Sonic games
And
of
some
this
devs
era
aren't
were
afraid of it.
terrified of the player missing stuff. That's why this game has 10 playthroughs. That's why Heroes makes you play it 4 times.
Mhm.
Which does explain a lot.
Yeah.
Jokes on them, I still don't know anything about this game.
True.
That is the number one thing that, the 2010s era, I like it better than a lot of the 2000s, is because those games are not padded to hell because the developers are terrified of having a short game.
Right.
I don't know if I'd necessarily would want them to, but if they were so terrified of people missing out on stuff, why didn't they have the mission select available from the start, allowing you to play all stages at the start of the game? Now, it sounds absolutely ludicrous. Why would you ever do that? But I'm speaking from personal experience, and that as a child, when it's they're very clearly trying to market this game towards me and make me a fan, right? I barely got anywhere far into the game, and I just kind of derped around and lost, and I just kind of
Right.
fell off with the game, right? If they were really worried about me losing interest, right, and kind of giving up, wouldn't they want me to be able to see as many levels as I could?
Yeah,
When
just
you
have you
think that, like,
go in and be like, I want to play this stage. It looks cool.
I would propose sort of a halfway point, which is that they should let you start a run from something other than Westopolis. If you've been to a stage before, you can play that stage and see what comes after it.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I thought that was how the game worked before I played it.
Oh. That would have
But
made
yeah.
sense.
But I
Yeah,
think
this
a lot
isn't
of
about making sense. This is about Shadow.
It would also mean that, certain design decisions would feel a lot more cogent. They would make more sense. Like how, if you do this dark mission on Cryptic Castle, the fact that Amy is still with you for the boss fight doesn't feel as weird if you just select it from a menu.
Again, I think you've mentioned this before. The fact that, like, Amy will be in this boss fight no matter what, kind of... I think that lends credence also to the fact that this game was clearly linear in development.
Yeah.
Or for most of development.
It
Well-
does point to that, yeah.
It's weird though because they have no problem switching the helper character in the missions.
Sure.
But it's weird in the boss fights they just don't bother.
Yeah.
And then that makes you wonder, it's like, well, why did they especially make it that way? Were they worried that, like, oh, the boss might be too hard and they need, like, an AI buddy to help you? And it's like, well, I'm afraid to tell you this,
They
Sega,
don't
but
do
the
shit to
AI
the bosses.
buddies-
No, the AI buddies
Yeah,
do not
exactly.
do shit.
I was like, I'm afraid to tell you this, they don't do anything.
All of the partner characters except Sonic can only attack by jumping into stuff. Sonic has a homing
Right.
attack, but everybody else doesn't. Now that I'm saying that, I'm actually not sure how true that is, because if you plug in a second controller, you can control the partner characters. And I know that Sonic's
That
the
was
only
my
one with a
favorite
homing
feature
attack.
about the game.
That is
Yeah,
kind of a fun idea.
but
It
I'm
feels
also
terrible to
remembering-
do, but it's hilarious, and
I'm
I'm
also
I'm sure-
remembering
I'm
one
sure it's
hilarious
terrible.
thing, which is that if you do that with Maria, she has a pathetic little slap if you press the B button. I'm wondering,
Oh, wow.
do the other characters have ground attacks? I'm not sure if I've ever seen that.
That would be something interesting to check out.
don't think they do.
Okay.
'Cause, like, I did that a lot as a kid, and I
Hmm.
don't think they do, but also, I'm trying to remember a ways back when saying this.
Oh, yeah.
We need to stop putting it off. We need to talk about Central City. What the hell is this?
You have
Wait
to go
a minute.
bomb the
Wait,
orphanages.
wait a
Shadow.
minute.
hold on.
skipped
There's one thing
over-
we missed.
We skipped over the bit where the plot derails and then goes right back on track immediately when Shadow says, I don't want to fight you to Eggman, but I need those Chaos Emeralds. And then he fights him anyway.
Yeah,
Yep.
why does Shadow say he doesn't want to fight Eggman?
Well,
Because at this point,
Shadow's a
you could
pathological
still
liar.
you could still be course correcting. I don't know. You could. Is it the same cutscene even if you're in the hero playthrough? I think it is.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure it's slightly different. I think I feel like maybe my memory's melting from the last time we recorded, but I could have sworn you go into the fight and Eggman's like, Shadow, what are you doing here?
Oh, yeah, that's
And it's
right.
like-
yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. It's like we were just talking. And it's like, well, no, I think you're mad that I'm like right here in this arena when like I should just be hanging out in the castle. You know what I mean? It's like this is my
Nobody
fight to
determined.
zone Shadow.
Okay.
But it's basically the same. It's funny because you're helping him out, and all of a sudden he wants to fight. But besides that, there's not much to talk about.
All right. Now can we talk about Central City? I've been dying to talk about Central City.
Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
Well, the
If we
cutscene leading
have
up to
to.
it first, surely.
Oh yeah, I mean they're planning the attack. The promised day is coming.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Finally.
right, yes.
They look pretty funny standing with Shadow.
do.
It's like me and the boys, you know. And Ghost Black Doom. Don't forget him. You know.
Of course. You can never
Notice they
forget
don't have
him.
to drop the poly count on those ones.
Yeah, very clever. Black Doom also tries to be clever here when he's like, Shadow, I must tell you the truth about your past. And, I mean, it's not actually that difficult to twist, honestly. He just has to omit a few details, because Shadow is
Right.
already... But then he says, like, they wanted to destroy you, and they did. And Shadow's like, yeah, okay. Huh?
Yeah, no
Wait a minute.
question about that.
That's a pretty big revelation right there. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, I died? It's like, hold on. It's like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like there was a better way to word that, because saying they wanted to destroy you and they did, it's like, oh shit, was I dead the whole time? It's a twist.
Yeah, this game never actually happened.
I mean, they act like
it is-
that now, so
I mean, true. That is a good point.
I can't imagine why.
uh,
But yeah, Central City though.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I hate
gotta
this
go
level.
bomb some
Whoa, whoa.
orphanages.
Whoa. Sucks
No,
is
this
a-
city is like irredeemably dog shit.
I
So-
feel like
Just
my
fucking Garbo.
my opinion's warped over time and it's been tainted. I will say, first time experience with the level, horrible. It's not great, but that's just because, like, again, it goes back to they don't convey information properly.
That's true.
If what was it?
If
Because
they-
we're doing the dark mission for it, and we have to do 5 big bombs, right? And what's funny is that if you're like me and you're just kind of bumbling around, you only have access to one of the 5 bombs, and then you time out because guess what? There's a timer for this level.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I ran in the wrong direction to start, so I could just never do the stage.
Well, yeah, this
Ooh.
stage is a maze, and it's importantly, this is the only level in the game which doesn't have a goal ring. It's a big, directionless map filled with bombs, and if you don't know what you're doing, which you're not going to the first time you play this game, you will have no idea where to go, because, especially in the Dark Mission, multiple bombs are gatekept by having to blow up walls with dynamite that look exactly the same as every other wall in the level, so how would you possibly know?
And like this level design felt less like a Sonic level design and more like generic shooter deathmatch level.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Doom Deathmatch.
You port this to
And-
Gmod.
It's rough too because it's not like we haven't seen cracked wall textures. I mean,
No, we
come
have,
on,
yeah.
we were just in Cryptic Castle.
Exactly.
We just had some, you know what I mean? And if you don't even want to go there, we just had the Doom not that long ago, like on one of our previous episodes. You know, they have cracked walls on there too that you need to blow up.
It's true,
Why
yeah.
couldn't we have cracked walls on this stage?
Central City
Um,
can't afford cracked walls.
Oof.
I guess so.
The designers who had literally designed it were like running through this level super fast, and they're like, it's too easy. Let's just hide the bomb walls. Maybe that'll make it a little harder.
Jesus
It-
Christ.
Well, you know,
It's entirely
that's really
possible.
funny because once you do figure it out, though, it's such a piss easy level, though. Both
Oh, yeah, of
good and
course.
dark.
Yeah.
I know we're not doing good, but I mean, I can run through it super fast now that I know where the bomb walls are.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of fun, but like that first time experience, though, you can't forget it, though.
It's hard to judge that, right? Like, the best, like, patch that I could think of is just the moment you get into the stage, detonate every bomb wall, and you don't even see them, and they're just already broken by the time you get there. That's a quick fix.
Yeah.
You still have the problem of if you go to the left without knowing, like, there's a character there. Because, like, if you get there, you're probably going to see Knuckles because he's bright red and stands out from the background, and not even notice Doom's Eye if you don't go right, like, just instinctively.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting thing with that, not really relevant, because you know you would have had to already beat the game a billion times by this point. But I've been going through expert mode finally, and in the expert mode of this stage, they solved that problem by physically blocking off the Knuckles part of that stage with like a
Oh,
giant ass wall that you
interesting.
can't go through, which is kind of funny that they do that. You know what I mean? It's like you know, you could kind of twist it in a way that like, oh, they knew.
Yeah, it's a
Or they were just like,
self-report.
yeah. You know what I mean? I was a little disappointed. It was like, oh man, I can't go that way. It's like, okay, fine. But like,
I don't
it's
get
not
to
like
see my friend.
it's not like there was anything useful over there for that version of the stage because
Sure.
the expert stage is just the dark one that we're doing with minor tweaks in here and there. But I don't know, there's some neat moments, I guess. Like the car is actually useful in this stage. And
Yeah,
you
'cause
know,
they force it to
I
be.
was- yeah. I mean, I
Oh,
didn't know that
walking
cars
through.
were
Oh,
immune
yeah.
to like toxic sludge or whatever the heck that is.
True.
Yeah, what is
Acid.
that? Where did that come from?
It's from the reactor powering the city.
Oh, so it had a
The
meltdown.
bomb juice.
Yeah.
Westopolis nuclear power plant.
Yeah, there you go. Well, this is Central City. This isn't Westopolis.
It
Oh,
looks
well, you know,
exactly
same
the
thing.
same.
Oh, it does. Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
I mean, I didn't realize that, but you could also just make the joke. It's like, oh, well, you know, it's like they look so similar that how would you even know?
Every city is just, they're all clumped together. The Federation doesn't have nature.
But yeah, it's I could definitely see why you hate it with the fiery passion, Devin. But because you're saying it's a maze, I feel like
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
more of
bad
a loop,
calling it
I
a
guess.
maze because we've seen a maze, and that was the Doom, and that
It's- yeah, it's
stage
not the-
was ass. It's like it's a lot better than
Yeah.
that, but it is a little confusing. That would just be
As
like
usual, all of this would have been fixed by a frigging radar to track objectives.
Yeah. Even if it's just something as simple as just like a compass on the top of your screen, like what Elden Ring has, or like a lot of open world games.
The lovely thing about it, right, is that there's a lot of solutions to it, and that's just one of them, right? Like, if they don't want to do that, they honestly could have just done like the I almost want to call it the baby mode, right? Where it's like, oh, baby child hasn't like figured out what to do for the last 5 minutes. It's like, okay, Black Doom Starfish mode is just going to be like, Shadow, maybe you should consider blowing up those explosive barrels, you know?
Or
It's like, I think
Black
there's
Doom
something,
says,
you know what I mean? It's like, just
should
like
go
nudge
this way.
them
Yeah.
towards that way. Yeah, it's like nudge them towards the way they need to go.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea.
You know, and that's only one other option. It's just the fact that they needed to do more, and they didn't. And
Yeah.
so because of that, you have, if a new player got all the way to this stage, good luck.
Yeah.
Because already I feel like that's pretty rough. But
I'd be impressed if a new
Yeah.
player can get all the way this way. They're not getting
Yeah.
past this though.
There are games with fundamental problems, and maybe you can argue that this is this one, I don't know. But at the very least, there are games where I can see problems and I'm like, well, there's an obvious fix to that, and then they don't do it. So
Yep.
it's just...
Yeah.
yeah, I
Because
guess.
they don't see the problem. That's the problem. It's
Or-
just you see it.
Yeah.
And you know, there are probably developers, like actual like people that like not even like Yuji Naka or anything, but like actual like on the ground floor like developers, right, that worked on
Right.
this game that probably knew some of these things and you know, some of these issues, and it kind of sucked. And they don't get a whole lot of power. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
true.
a-
I have
a lot of
strong
it
feelings
does
that
end
is
up
true
going to
about
management.
every single Sonic game. Yeah.
That is very
I mean-
very true though.
And I mean, that's a thing that goes on in even outside of Sonic. That's just
Oh,
a
that's
games
so
thing.
ubiquitous across the
And so-
industry. Yeah.
And so I'd feel a little bit bad saying that it's like, oh, how did they not know? And it's like, well, it's like more
They
like, how
might
did
have
management.
known.
It's like, how did management not know? And then
Sure.
management probably knew. They were probably told
Yeah.
and decided against it anyway for whatever reason. While I do, I like this stage now, knowing how to play it right. I don't think that's good enough. You know, what I mean?
That's-
It's like
yeah.
it should still strive to be better, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, of course, the natural extension of this, everything that we've been doing on Earth, is to randomly appear in space now.
As you do.
As one
Hell
does.
As one does, yeah.
This is Shadow being sent on a mission to slowly fly on a bird and shoot targeting
Oh.
computers or something.
Oh right.
This fucking level.
Yeah, before we start the level, there's one slightly important thing, which is that I think this is the first mention of the prosperity ritual. Black Doom says it's almost time for that.
Oh yeah.
So we finally get hints on whatever the heck the Black Arms are doing. But anyway, yes, you're right. We don't get to learn more about that right now, and for a while, actually. Yeah, I'm not a big rail shooter guy anyway,
Yeah.
but this stage.
This isn't one of the better ones. This is the Arc. Amazing name for a level, by the way. Truly, truly creative. The most I can say in this stage where you are entirely on, what do they call them? The Black Volt is the bird thing.
Oh, I just called them bats.
You're flying through and targeting, they call them the Arc's defense systems, and I guess they're just the things powering the green shields.
Sure.
They look like metal flowers,
Yeah.
but you're shooting them. They really, they kind of don't fit in with the general Arc aesthetic, I think.
Yeah, for the most part.
And it's not a holdover from a previous game, is it?
No.
Nope.
So, the one notable thing about this stage is that, it's Final Rush,
Yeah.
Right.
and I don't mean it's Final Rush in that it looks like the Arc levels in SA2, I mean the stage geometry, all of the actual paths are literally the geometry of Final Rush, with all of the grind rails and objects ripped out, and you're flying over them. So that's weird.
Oh,
That is odd.
I didn't realize it was 1-to-1 like that. That's fascinating.
Well, because why the hell why would they bother? You don't go through it like Final Rush, you just fly over it. It could be anything.
weird.
It's the
It's
reference
almost like
again.
an Easter egg at that point. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it has to be.
I wonder.
Or it was a shortcut
Or-
or something.
Now
in
that's-
development.
That's an
mean,
interesting thing, though,
probably.
right? Because now that's you propose the question, right? What if they didn't change it? Would you view it as lazy that they just copy pasted a stage, maybe threw in some new, because they have new enemies in this game, right?
I would be
So how
happy
would
to
you feel
have
about
stage design on the level of SA2 in this game either way.
it? Mhm.
I guess, yeah.
But I
This
wonder if
level is
reviewers
bad.
would have felt so the same. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in 2005, they'd be like, "Oh, they just reused this level." But also, I don't know if reviewers would have even noticed.
Yeah.
Most reviewers probably not.
This level is bad either way, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's worse in the dark stage, which is unfortunately what we have to do. I mean, if you're playing just the regular go to the end, it's like not even worth mentioning.
It's fine.
It's brain dead
You just
on neutral.
you hold down the A button and just like you're done.
Yeah, you tape down your A button and walk away.
The dark mission,
the dark stage is kind of janky though.
Yeah,
well, because you have to target these whatever they are, defense systems or whatever that means. I don't know if these are the computers controlling them or the power source, whatever. The problem is, even if you're not going fast, the amount of time that you have to hit them, since you can't turn around, is very limited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Devin, you watched me struggle at this for a while.
Yeah, because the literally the best strategy in the vanilla game. The Reloaded mod adds friggin' dash rings that'll push you back, which is, I guess, good.
That's one way to deal with it, I guess.
Yes.
I kept on accidentally flying into those and it made everything painful. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, but that's because the best strategy in the vanilla game is to intentionally get stuck on the systems or the shields themselves so that you will have enough time to mash the B button until they die. You can jump off, I guess, and do some jank platforming to try and shoot them with a normal gun, but you will fail a lot of the time.
Well, it's not the worst idea because, like, by doing that, that also gives you access to the checkpoints. And I mean,
That's true.
let's just hope that you don't die in this stage because it's not a particularly hard one. But it's
it's not hard. It's just annoying.
It's not a fun one to have to like reset most of your progress on because you
No, because it's essentially an auto scroller.
Yep. And so that's the worst feeling in the world. Yeah, not.
And it's funny too because I remember there's a actually amusing line in this from Doom's Eye where they're like, "Oh, there's a save point there, Shadow. You could touch it, or you could just move along and do what you're supposed to do." Just like that's a bit of meta like tutorial dialogue. Usually they kind of go flip flop between tutorial mode and actually talking in character.
Right.
And this
You
is so
can
late
save your game
in the
here.
run that it makes it kind of funny.
Oh yeah, we're teaching
yeah.
the player what tutorials are 4 levels in.
Yeah.
One of
No,
which
it
is Cryptic Castle.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the arc
but
is
the music's
done.
okay, I guess. The music's fine.
I'll take your word on it.
I kind of remember
At this point, I actually turned the sound off.
It's kind of like a da-da-da-da-da-da, that's all I remember.
Yeah, this like
Maybe.
last stretch of playing through the game is where I just turned the sound off for the game because I was just tired of playing the game.
That's honestly fair.
So, after that, boss fight? Yeah, boss fight. Sorry, I had to look at the map. Oh yeah, this is the one that shows that guns technology has not evolved at all in 50 years.
Well, hold on. They made it blue.
That immediately that is more advanced.
I mean, it is the Blue Falcon we're talking about.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, another
Completely
F-Zero
different
reference.
boss.
Well, I really, I think the only difference in how this boss is programmed from Heavy Dog, because it's the same model, it's just a different texture.
Right.
I think the only difference is that it moves in a different pattern because you have a different shaped, more annoying arena.
Yeah, I definitely like the Heavy Dog fight a lot more, right? Because you're like constantly just moving around.
Right,
This
you're always
one's
on the move.
This
one's a
just
lot
fun.
more vertical feeling.
Well, yeah, because you have the bounce pad that launches
Right.
you up.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't
the first
think
thing
you can
Black
take
Doom
the
says
rope.
to you. I kept trying to grab it until I realized there was a spring.
Oh, the
I
pole
think
in the
the
middle?
rope. That's what is cool, but like that's for like if you're already up top, right? Like you
Yeah.
could jump on it and
I-
slide down.
Yeah.
Or is
I
this
don't
like a
think you can
fireman's
fall
escape?
off, though, so it's like you might as well just jump off the side.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just jumped off the side every time, no problems.
I mean,
And if I don't find a way to fall off the map, it's probably not possible.
It's a very weird inclusion, but it's just kind of there. You know what I mean? It's like it's
the fight.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, let's just say this though. At least it's not like we could have done Egg Breaker for the second time in a run, which would have been pretty egregious.
I can't
I'm
imagine
glad
if you
it's
had to
not
fight the
that.
same boss twice in a run.
That would be.
Yeah, I don't think
that'd be
I don't think
terrible.
we'll ever do that, guys. No.
Yeah, that'll never come up.
Yeah, no. Gotta give him some credit.
Yeah, I think it even
But,
uses the same music as Heavy Dogs. It's like it's not a lot
Well,
to say about it. I guess it's easier to dodge the particle cannon because it's so vertical. But...
It's a lot easier to forget you're fighting a boss on Blue Falcon.
Yeah,
This is-
kind of.
It's just not on the same. Like, it's always trying to catch up with you in this fight.
It's like literally not on the same level.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let me up there. It's like, hold on.
Like, it can fly, and somehow it can't keep up with me vertically.
Well, remember, hedgehogs are the ultimate life form.
Well, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, let's push forward
yeah.
here. We've taken the
Yeah,
arc is
I don't-
what's important, and Black Doom gives a speech to humanity about how fucked they all are, and we
Yeah.
see
And the game
going
has
for
to
the
load
Lord-
so
he's going
many
for the
different
Lord leader.
times.
Oh, I love how
Yeah.
many random times you get loading screens in the middle of cutscenes.
they couldn't
I was,
just
like,
have,
actually screaming during it.
they couldn't just
I did.
have a map with map pieces from different levels that they wanted to pan across shots of. No, they had to load entire maps each time.
This is a perfect example of how the game was obviously rushed and they couldn't optimize some things.
Yeah.
I think you mean perfect.
This is going to
Flawless.
be a trend because think about it. That's where the Sonic 06 load times come in too, where they load
Oh
entire
my
maps for
God.
extremely minor things.
It's the beginning.
Very frustrating.
Yeah, I wish that we had seen some of the Sonic characters reacting to this instead of exclusively humans we don't care about.
As I feel like you're playing the game and you're kind of a fill-in for Shadow, and you get this cutscene and you're like, oh, I mean, you already kind of know Black Doom's bad, right? But you're like, oh, it's like I think I'm doing something wrong here. It's like this feels bad. It's like we just wiped out like a major populated area. It's just
Yeah.
gone. And Black Doom's like, humans are abominations, you know, and it's like, dude, my guy. It's like
We're just
This is what the game has been building to because everyone wanted the edgy route. But the game just has to keep pulling its punches. Because I was surprised. I was like, whoa, they actually finally like wiped out a whole bunch of people. And
Yeah.
they're like, President, oh.
luckily we were able
Wait,
to evacuate everyone.
yeah, they just evacuated everyone. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
Yes,
I felt so robbed.
they pay
Yeah.
off SA2 in a way because they fire the Eclipse cannon at the Earth.
Yeah, and it was effectively pointless.
They destroy the not White House and the entirety of Central City, which... Are there emeralds in this thing? Does it need any? Who knows?
Clearly
Yeah,
it fucking
they've
doesn't.
collected. Haven't they collected
Most of them.
5 or 6 at this point?
Shadow
that's
has
true,
several,
actually,
but
yeah.
I don't know if we never hear if they put them in.
Yeah, I don't think Shadow
Sure
will
they
be willing
do.
to... I feel like
Thought in
Shadow's
some
not willing to
cutscenes,
give
Doom
them
says
up.
you need them for it.
But either way, they have destroyed this massive area, and then they make sure to say that everyone evacuated.
It's just like Station Square, all
It's
fucking
just
over
like
again.
Perfect chaos.
Except they didn't say that in the game.
No, true.
Well, but I'm pretty sure it just retroactively confirms that.
It
though.
is.
Yes,
yeah,
but
I think
it's like
Kevin
at least
mentioned
in that
it
case
is.
you can leave it up to the implication.
Well, no, remember everything is canon.
In this game, you know, you could have a lot of the same stuff because it's like the president and gun commander. They wouldn't kill them off either way because they're stupid. But it's like if you were to show them but not say everyone evacuated, you could still assume that somebody was a victim here.
Yeah, no, the victims were all the pets that probably weren't evacuated.
Oh no, they got
that's just
evacuated too.
sad.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, the pets were evacuated. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
They should only
Well, I
evacuate
mean,
the
like,
animals.
we don't know what Sonic and Co. are doing. Who's to say that, like, honestly, you have the alternate perspective game, right? Where you're playing as the events of the other characters during Shadow's
Right, you're playing as like
conflict,
Team
right? Or his
Sonic,
other paths.
dealing
And,
dealing
like,
with all the shit that Shadow's
Yeah.
doing.
You can't tell me that Sonic and Co. wouldn't be, like, trying to, like, evacuate as many people.
I,
as they
I would
could.
actually play that game.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were gonna say that like some of the Sonic characters were just vaporized.
I mean, we haven't seen Cream in a while.
No,
Cream, where are you?
Rouge and Sonic are the only ones that appear for the rest of this route.
So here's the
Well, I
thing
meant in
about that.
general.
I would believe that that Sonic would be speeding around saving everyone. Sure, that makes sense.
Sure.
However, The whole point of this game is to have what-if situations. So to be like, oh no, the heroes are still doing great,
Good stuff.
you know, or as good as they can anyway, in this
yeah.
situation, in every single event. That's what gets me.
That is totally fair.
You have to really lean into the multiple like story kind of thing, right? Where it's
Sure.
like, no, it's like if this is the worst possible thing, then it should be the worst possible thing.
It
Right.
should
You know
go
what I mean?
all
Like,
the way off
This
the
is
rails.
pure dark.
Right.
You know, like I forgot this is the pure dark episode. It don't feel very
Not really.
dark.
Not really. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like to be fair, the cutscene is pretty whack. You know, I did like the cutscene, but when you stop and think about it, right, it's like this is like it sure is E10, all right. It's like and everybody lived.
Yep.
They're okay.
Everyone lived happily ever after.
Like,
Yeah.
But,
so
Gun Fortress though.
yep. Final stage is Gun Fortress, the concrete capital.
This was a stage.
Suddenly, Gerald is cheering Shadow on. I think this is the only time that ever happens where Gerald talks to Shadow in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
It
is
just threw me off.
His plan.
Yeah.
Also,
It was-
the only part of this game that remembers that Gerald is kind of a psychopath who shouldn't be trusted.
True.
That's true, actually. He is surprisingly good in this game. Like, a good guy.
It's like
Um,
revisionist history. They're like they want to paint the picture that no, Gerald was good, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, come on. It was fine.
I really thought that Lauren was going to say suddenly smooth jazz.
The music was
It
a
was
bit
very
of
jarring.
tonal whiplash.
It's so low key for a final stage where you're evil.
Well, with the cutscene, right, of everyone getting wiped out, sure they pulled the punch a little bit, right? I just kind of felt like weird throughout the stage. You know what I mean? It's like obviously I knew that I had to do the dark all the way through because that's what we're doing for the episode, right?
Right.
But I couldn't help but be like, this was like the game telling you really hard. It's like, hey, maybe you're doing something wrong here.
Yeah, it does
Maybe
kind of feel
this
like
is
the
your
game.
last chance. To
Yeah,
do
the
a
game
good
kind of being
thing
like,
and like
hey,
save the day, maybe.
yeah.
And
Well, I'll
stop
tell you what
Shadow
they
everything.
should have
couldn't-
done. Because you get in here, and then Rouge is just like right there, and she's like, "Hey, Shadow, help!" And it's like, "What do you do? What do you mean help? Have you not been paying attention to what's going on?"
The characters in this game do not pay attention.
They should have had her
always
attack
the
you.
case.
Yeah.
They're so oblivious.
Rouge
That
should,
goes
yeah,
back-
Rouge should immediately be like, Shadow, you bastard.
I do think that probably is the reason why the characters act that way.
Yeah.
Is just to very heavy-handedly account, sort of, for the fact that you could be coming from multiple different places. And I guess you can headcanon it the other way, too, because maybe Rouge knows the commander better than anyone else, right?
I mean, I would assume
And
she
so
does.
she would know just how nuts he is. In the good route, he's actually, like, insane. It's only the evil route where he's, like, justified his delusions about Shadow. So she probably thinks he's just lying about a lot of stuff.
Sure.
Although, wait, doesn't Rouge appear in a mission earlier in this run?
Digital
yeah.
circuit,
Yeah.
yes.
That's a bit of a problem, actually.
He's just
Yeah.
hacking computers. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
she
never
wants to
had, you've
find
never
the
just.
Chaos Emerald that they lost in the computer network of theirs.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they
It's my
put it in
favorite
the wrong,
headcanon where Shadow's a white hat hacker.
they accidentally put it in the recycle bin and like emptied it out. They're like, Rouge, please. I will
Stage
say, though-
itself is nothing. It's fine. There's nothing all that remarkable about it.
They do some
not
weird things in
particularly.
it though. Like they do have some branching paths, and I think one weird design, or like because they keep trying out new things throughout the game. They try like
I had
this
the
weird,
best time to
like,
be trying some new things out right at the fucking end of a playthrough.
they do that weird security camera section. And kind of
I hated it so
That's
much.
really annoying.
I don't think I
Shadow
like
was
it.
already hard enough to control, and then when you switch up the camera angle, suddenly it's even worse.
And have you do a forced quote unquote stealth section? I mean, it's not that bad since you can just pick up your rings, but it's still like, why?
I guess it's kind of whack because it's like
It
you
wasn't
could
hitting
also
its
just, like,
tougher quota.
you could barrel through it. You know what I mean? It's
You
like,
should-
oh no,
you
it's
should
gonna
not-
shoot at me, and you just go through it.
You should not ask a player to hide behind wooden boxes within minutes of them blowing up tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
No,
to be
that's-
fair, it took me a second to realize what area you were talking about. I didn't even realize that was supposed to be a stealth section.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
'cause, I mean, if
it
you
lends
just, like,
itself to you
bumble through
could
it.
do it stealth. but
Yeah,
you
that's
could
what I
just,
did.
like, rush
I just
through it.
Yeah, I would
bumbled
just run
through
through it
it.
every time.
Yeah, I bumbled my ass through it like I do with fucking everything I do.
I would say counter argument at that point that the boxes lend themselves to absolute new babby player, right? That might not be so sure of themselves, right? And sure, they could hide behind it and time it if they really want to.
I
But
feel like it
most,
more so
most
is just to
people
give
that
you
like
cover
know,
to not get killed.
yeah, exactly. Most
That's
people that know can just go through it, you know what I mean? And it
right.
shouldn't be that hard. Like you might get hit twice throughout the whole stage by that section, you know, or those sections, you know what I mean? But it's like I would
Oh.
rather that they put the boxes and have you not need them than just having no boxes and you just getting shot in the open. Because that
All
would
the more
suck even
reason to
worse.
not
Sure.
have it be that way. But yes, you're correct.
Yeah, they could just not
Well-
do the camera angle switch up.
Yeah,
True.
honestly.
Yeah, so the most memorable thing that I think about this stage is not even that, not the security. I don't like the security camera sections, but they're like whatever because you can just jump past them. The dangerous part of this level to me is the big fuck off spiral rail thing.
Oh yeah, that room's kind of
Yeah.
Where you have to
Yeah.
tilt out of the way to not get shot by soldiers or lasers.
Yeah, my boomer reactions did not appreciate it.
Well,
Wait a
it's just
minute.
a bottomless
you guys
pit
got shot
beneath,
by
so
him?
I don't think I actually got shot by them,
Yeah.
but I think I had some close calls.
I've been
I
shot
ended
by
up
him. I
getting
didn't
shot because I wasn't paying enough attention.
Really? Huh. I didn't think it was possible for them to hit you. Like I thought they just kind of do it for show. Like I thought
I
the
mean,
lasers were the things that
I could
right?
I
But,
could
like,
understand that. I mean, that's like I get it.
But you know what? You know what though? I feel like there's been other stages though where they do weird things like that, where it's like they can hit you, but it's just like very flip floppy if they will.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
when
not
they
like- it's-
when they want to do
it's kinda
style
shoddily
over
put
substance,
together.
but don't have much style. So don't
You know-
don't like that bit.
You know what I don't like? The level's kind of long.
It is long.
If you took out the bits we were complaining about and just left it to the normal bits, then yeah, that would be like a normal length stage. Otherwise, it just feels padded, as we've said many times
Yeah.
about this game.
Yay.
And yeah, even like you know, you start the stage and you're right next to the president. The president's plane, which I thought we were going to be hunting him down again.
That,
and I guess
that's
not.
what I was
But
expecting.
it even takes a while just to get to the first checkpoint. I mean, you're going for quite a bit. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, am I doing something wrong here? And you're like, no, that's just how the level's like. It's like, okay, it's like, why did we need that section there? I don't know. I guess if you want to build up your meter, I guess.
Yeah, I do like the goal ring area for this level, just in that it looks completely surreal, like nothing I've ever seen in a Sonic game. It's just this giant field of, like, concrete, really, with just, like, barely visible sunset in the back. It doesn't look like a real location. It's really weird. Like, are they deep underground? Is that an artificial sun? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what is this for the gun fortress? Is this where the gun commander just, like, hangs out on his lunch breaks? Like, I don't...
Yeah.
What is this? But yeah, kind of
Yeah.
Our final encounter is once again Sonic and Diablon. We've already fought them. This time, Sonic's jump works for me, and it feels like a real boss. It's still not a good boss, but what are you gonna do?
It sure was a boss.
It definitely was a thing that I had to do.
It was definitely better the second time, but it also wasn't good the second time.
Was it better the second time? My notes are that it was just as boring and easy as the first time.
Well,
so-
when I say better, I mean like it wasn't as
Cryptic?
yeah.
gun boxes and there's I don't know. There's more. You know what I mean? It's like
They
feel like
replaced
there
the
was as
purple with blue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what makes
Hey.
it better. Okay.
hey, and isn't
Hey.
Rouge there or not this time?
No.
Yeah, no.
I must have been thinking of
No,
The-
no,
the
that
other-
would
that
be
was-
that would
that
be a
was-
real trip. No, it's
It was just wishful thinking.
actually though. Wait a minute, Rouge is no stranger to beating up gun robots. So now that I think about it,
That is true. She is not.
that are manned.
She's committed to staying in character.
No,
They
it's just,
should have
it's
made
just
that. They
Doom's
should have
Eye.
made like the dark. They should have made you turn Rouge to the Black Arm side.
Oh my god.
that would have been
That'd be
funny
interesting.
instead of because if you do the hero end to this right, it's like Rouge kind of turned you and like I guess Ghost Gerald in your brain to the
Sure.
good at the end. But it's like, nah, Rouge, I think you should check out this dark shit. It's pretty
I want the Shadow and Rouge toxic relationship ending.
Oh my god.
No,
No,
because,
no
like,
one
that can't
dies. It's
happen.
just shit relationship.
That can't happen just simply because of Black Doom worming his way into Shadow's mind, which I think
Oh.
we'll talk about another time. But
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as just kind of seen, like he just seems like he's kind of lost
Black
himself.
Doom
And,
is
like,
the only one for
he
Shadow.
wouldn't be able to focus on the toxic Rouge relationship. He'd just be like, ah, yes, destroying humans.
Or
And it's like,
would that make Shadow more toxic?
Maybe that would
Oh my
make Rouge
God.
like him more. You don't know.
Ooh, yeah,
Maybe.
I don't want.
All right,
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah,
yeah, the
this is-
Diablon fight is pretty rough.
It's
Yeah.
Diablon.
Yeah, thank you for saving us from that tangent. Yeah, it's really not that different. I think we can safely
No,
say it's like the other one.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess we could talk about the end
Yes,
scene.
yes.
Yeah.
So the True Dark ending is really similar to the Neutral Dark ending. Frankly, it is Shadow. He's Black Arms and he's bad, and he says, "I'm gonna blow up this damn planet," and that's it.
What was
He
the
put
Neutral
so much-
Dark one again?
He put so much emphasis on the word "damn."
The Neutral Dark ending was just Shadow was Black Doom's acolyte, and he serves him, and that's it. So it's really not that different.
Well, no,
it's
the
still-
difference is this time everyone is definitely screwed. The other time there was some ambiguity potentially.
There might be some
Yeah.
hope that that Shadow might come back.
Yeah.
The thought process is like in the Neutral Dark, he's his acolyte, right? And now they're going to have their conquest. Versus the conquest be done, guys. It's like it's over. You know,
Yeah.
there's
Well,
no way they can come
it's
back
over.
from it
The,
now.
the weird thing is that there was the first hint that the Black Arms are maybe planning something bigger than just take over. And yet this ending is just, I'm going to blow up the planet, which is not what was being hinted at.
Yeah.
I guess we'll hear
Um,
about that later. But
Yeah.
you know, that'll be fun though to talk about that though when that
Oh,
comes up.
yes.
Yeah.
I do like the hero mission for this path, because if you do that, Black Doom is instead your final boss. Shadow turns on Black Doom at the last second. And in that version, he says, "I am the leader now. I will take the Black Arms to conquer the galaxy."
Ah, yes.
Yes.
He's the hero path. Shadow's
Oh.
still a imperialist bastard. He's just not going to conquer Earth.
This
And-
is the thing.
Yeah.
The hero path is actually the hero end of the dark path is actually the darkest path, in my opinion.
I'd agree with that 100%.
Because Black Doom, well, we don't know. He's an unknown factor anyway. So
Really
you don't
is.
know exactly what he wants, and so destroying the Earth, yeah, that's bad. That's not ideal. But Shadow being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and conquer the whole universe, like that's just auto. Everyone's screwed.
That's such a
Right.
huge leap.
Yeah,
You know,
there's no
from
longer
Right.
ambiguity.
what we figure,
Right.
what he's you know, compared to what Black Doom seems to be doing, it's like way overboard, and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
Shadow, what's going on, man?
That
It's E10 up in here.
All that being said, the idea of Galactic Crusader Shadow, out of all the what if endings, I want to see that one the most.
Yeah,
Okay,
give me a
so-
game of that.
This is a good point. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but thank you. I can't believe how abrupt a lot of these endings are. I mean, of course, they're going to be abrupt because they're weird, wacky what ifs. But
Sure.
it's like, I don't know.
When you don't
Here's the thing. They end just when it's about to completely derail. If they had just gone like one more stage, then I would have been happy.
I'll tell you what you do. When you don't have the time or budget for an ending, what you do is you grab your concept artist, who's not doing much work by this point in development anyway, and you have him whip up a bunch of stills, and you say, like, you get audio descriptions of what happened, and you have, you know,
Oh,
just
God.
pan across these cool drawings of the different things that could go on throughout the ending. And that would give each of them so much
God.
more of a distinct voice from one another.
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
that's basically
That's
what I was about
genius,
to
literally.
say, and you
That
you
is,
took
yeah.
the words from my mouth. Maybe not as
Yeah.
much the concept art stuff, but I think that makes it even better. What I was gonna say, right, is if you ever played something like Fallout 3 or New Vegas, completely different games, right? But at the end of those two games,
Oh, I know where you're
what they
going with
do
this.
on there, right? Specifically New Vegas, because it's the darling child. Everyone loves
Right.
that one. When you beat the game, it looks at all the different stuff that you've done throughout the game, all the
Right.
different quests and the
And
decisions that
builds
you
an
made.
ending.
And it builds a little story for you of a little
Right.
slideshow of like this, because of your actions
This
has
happened.
and then this has happened, and maybe you don't have to go it to such a huge degree, but I want to see like a couple stills and
Sure.
a narrator even, or even somebody, you know,
Or
just
have
being
Shadow
like,
narrate it.
Shadow went on to do this afterwards. You
Yeah,
know?
that would
It's
be a
like,
lot
this
more
is what happened.
interesting. I think the problem with that though is
that doesn't even take that much more time though, because you're not making a whole new stage.
Yeah,
sure,
just-
you have to
that would
record a
be
couple more
that would be a lot
lines,
more
maybe.
interesting.
And honestly, because if they're going through so much crunch that they can't get more voice lines in, don't do voice lines. Just have it some art and like a little like a text scroll. Call it a day.
Yeah,
But
that's better than what we got.
no, but I feel like this has been a thing that happens with all the endings, right? Where it's like they just kind of cut it off, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it.
The endings have all really felt like wet farts.
Yeah, no. Because throughout all the runs, Shadow is just bumbling around, being completely clueless. Then he finally gets it together, and then the game just ends.
This is who I am.
This is.
This is who I am, and then it fucking ends.
Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, but this is not an uncommon problem for adventure era stories. The difference is that usually there is a conclusion that happens, but there is no such thing for these what if paths, and that's what makes it all the more annoying.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Not only do you get because I think we already kind of concluded that Almost Dead was generally not most of ours' favorite of the end song. And so to have such a kind of a wet fart ending, it kind of ends
with a wet fart ending song.
You get a kind of S song.
And the only one isn't this the only one that's reused as well?
That's why we talked about it.
Which makes it feel even more lazy too.
Yeah, this ending feels just lazy.
Yeah. So,
and I know besides that, we really don't have anything else to, we're done with the run. We've done, like, that's it. But it's like, it's pretty bad. Honestly, it's like, we haven't talked about a lot of the runs, but it's like this one definitely was the most disappointing,
Being a bastard in video games should be the most fun part, and they made it the least fun.
Yeah, because just everything that happens in this run just feels like nothing is happening somehow.
I don't know if you guys feel similarly, but yeah, it's just
I think I do.
Matt, what you need to learn is that a long-standing mantra of this show is we're not gonna dwell on it. We can't dwell on it. We gotta keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So
that's true. We still got more to talk about next time,
Next time on Deep Dive Zone, we are doing the True Hero playthrough, which okay. Sure. And all that being the way that it is, that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm trying to make these episodes shorter because we gotta keep moving. We gotta keep the pace up. Gotta get that rhythm flowing throughout the system. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a bad bit. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, I would love for you to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or find us in the link tree in the description for all of your various needs and wants and desires to... I don't know where I'm going.
Send us death threats.
I really don't think anybody's going to do that over this playthrough. I was going to say that, but no, nobody's defending this.
I know. I was just hoping someone would do it for piece of shit. Fucking... I don't remember what I wanted it for, actually.
You know what? That's this playthrough in a nutshell. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great night. And take care.